A classmate borrowed my scissors. 3 years later, I showed up at his door to collect. Not only did he refuse to pay, but he also humiliated me relentlessly. But he didn't know that I'm a blade seller. And a debt to a blade seller is paid with your life. When I found Leo-chun, he was throwing a party at his house. Tomorrow was August 15th, an auspicious day, and Leo was getting married. Tonight, he was having a bachelor party for his close college friends. Of the 6 guys from our dorm room, he had invited everyone but me. The guys awkwardly blocked the doorway. Leo, a cigarette dangling from his lips, blew smoke right in my face. Ethan, it's not that I didn't want to invite you, man. I was just worried you couldn't afford a wedding gift. Look at you dressed in rags. I heard you're the only one from our class who still hasn't found a job. The others burst out laughing. Yeah, Ethan, how did you end up like this? TCH, what do you expect? He's a country bumpkin from the sticks, started with nothing. How well could he possibly do? Remember freshman year? He showed up in straw sandals. I nearly died laughing. My old roommate, Fatty Mike, gave me a hard shove. I get it now. You're just here to freeload, aren't you? You have to give gift money for the wedding tomorrow, but not for the party today. Smart. I stumbled back a couple of steps, and their laughter grew louder. I shook my head. I'm not here for food. I'm here to collect a debt. Leo, back in our senior year, you took my scissors on credit. Leo's family was rich, but he loved taking advantage of people. For all 4 years of college, he'd use my toothpaste and tissues, wipe his feet with my face towel without a second thought, and when I was out, he'd throw my quilt on the floor for his friends to sit on while they played cards and smoked. When I confronted him, he was indignant. You think I care about your cheap crap? Fatty Mike immediately jumped in. Exactly. Leo using your stuff is a compliment. Why are you so petty, bitching about it all the time like a girl? Leo's uncle was a dean at our university, so everyone in the dorm sucked up to him. Fatty Mike was the worst, always calling him Leo and following him around like a puppy. At the time, I was dealing with my own serious problems and didn't want to get into fights at school, so I just put up with it. I never expected Leo to get even worse. On August 14th, 3 years ago, Leo just took my scissors. We have a class event tomorrow. I'm using these for the day. The scissors had a red string wrapped around the handle. Ever since I moved into the dorm freshman year, I had kept them under my pillow. This time I didn't hold back. I lunged forward and snatched them back. My scissors can't be borrowed. Why don't you use your own? We're setting up the stage tomorrow, cutting a bunch of tape and trash paper. My Swiss Army knife is too expensive to use on that junk. Leo reached out to grab them again. Why are you so stingy? I can't even borrow a pair of scissors? I slapped his hand away forcefully. No. My scissors can only be taken on credit, not borrowed. Leo clenched his fists, ready to hit me, but I stared him down without flinching. The dorm lights were already out, and the blue glow from a laptop screen illuminated my face. Leo suddenly lost his nerve. He glanced around and saw that we were the only 2 in the room. His tone immediately softened. Fine, fine, fine. I'll take them on credit. I'll pay you later. Are you sure you want to take them on credit? Leo, I'm not kidding. I'm a blade seller. You can't run from this kind of debt. We blade sellers are followers of the sage Giguzi. A blade seller gives a blade to a client on credit, never asking for a penny up front. Instead, we leave the client with a prophecy. When the prophecy comes true, we return to collect our payment. In ancient times, during periods of chaos, blade sellers were a common sight on the streets. But after the end of the Qing dynasty, our tradition dwindled, with fewer and fewer apprentices, until we all but vanished. Today, you could count the number of true initiates who understand the secrets of our trade on one hand. Ha ha, blade seller? What the hell is that? Ethan, you're full of it. Leo roared with laughter, snatched the bronze scissors from my hand, and tossed them onto his desk. You're always acting so mysterious and brooding. That's why everyone hates you. I'd like to see what this debt is all about. I'll take the scissors on credit. How much? Just as Leo finished speaking, a clap of thunder echoed outside. It was the 14th, and the moon was full and bright. But as the thunder rolled, dark clouds drifted in from nowhere. Soon, the wind howled, and raindrops hammered against the window with a sharp patter. I stared intently at Leo and said, word by word, there will be a great plague. It will last for 3 years. Leo flinched, trying to look tough. What plague? Why are you telling me this? You're insane. He grabbed the scissors, knelt, and plunged them into a cardboard box. I turned to look out the window. The clouds broke, the rain stopped, and the bright moon reappeared. The contract was sealed. I held out my hand to Leo. The 3-year epidemic is over, Leo. I'm here to collect my debt. Leo curled his lip and rolled his eyes dramatically. Listen to this guy, everyone. He used my scissors once, and holy crap, he remembers it for 3 years and even comes to my house to get them back. Fatty Mike slapped his thigh and howled with laughter. That's hilarious. What are you, a first grader? Coming to ask for a pair of scissors back? Yeah, I mean, being poor is one thing, but you can't be this petty. It's disgusting. Exactly. Get lost. Another classmate, Jason, raised his hand as if to slap me. I stood my ground. Leo, I'm telling you one last time. You can't default on a blade seller's debt. Give me the money. Leo's face darkened. Damn it, you're doing this the hard way. You looking for a beating? Leo, what's going on? Just then, a middle-aged woman in a cheongsam, slightly plump, hurried out of the house. After she understood what was happening, she shot Leo a disapproving look. Leo, it's your big day tomorrow. Don't cause any trouble. Leo's mom forced a smile. You must be Ethan. Thank you for lending Leo your scissors, but it's been so many years, we really can't find them anymore. How about this? I'll pay you for them. Just name your price. I nodded and pointed to the empty bamboo basket by the door. You can pay. 180,000. Cash. What? Leo's mom shrieked, her round, plump face instantly hardening. Young man, don't be ridiculous. It was just a pair of old scissors. The fact that I'm offering to pay you at all shows we're being reasonable. Don't push your luck. 180,000? That's extortion. I can have the police here to arrest you with one phone call. Mom, why are you even wasting your breath on this guy? Leo impatiently rolled up his sleeves, went back inside, and grabbed a baseball bat from behind the door. Ethan, you're so broke you've lost your mind. Trying to extort me? Are you going to get out of here or not? The end of the bat was pointing at my face. I smiled. Leo, among all the blade seller debts, the one for scissors is the worst one to default on. Do you know why? Why? Because they belong to a poor bastard like you? Damn it. A pair of scissors, and you really have the nerve to show up at my door demanding them back. Leo spat on the ground and banged the bat against the front door. Thump, thump. I'll count to 3. Get out. 1, 2. Fine, I'm leaving. I walked over and picked up my carrying pole and the empty bamboo baskets. Leo, don't say I didn't warn you. You broke the contract. Tonight at midnight, the thing inside the scissors won't be contained anymore. I placed the pole on my shoulder, lifted the baskets and chanted softly. Scissors debt, a child's cleft, half of blood, at death's door left. As my words faded, a chilling wind suddenly whipped up out of nowhere. The nearby trees rustled violently, and a few of the guys stumbled, thrown off balance by the gust. Leo's hair stood on end. He swallowed hard, steadying himself by grabbing the doorframe, his bravado failing him. What does that mean? Ethan, what the hell are you talking about? Leo's mom was so angry her nostrils flared, and she kept patting her chest. The audacity. That little punk. We can't let him just walk away. On the eve of a wedding, talking about ghosts and blood, he's cursing our family. Someone stop him. Stop him. As she yelled, a couple of security guards rushed toward me. Fatty Mike also charged forward and kicked my bamboo baskets, sending them flying. Ethan, you're a real piece of work. The other classmates were also worked up, rolling up their sleeves and surrounding me. Exactly. Ethan, your mouth is foul. Showing up to curse someone on their wedding day. Leo, a lowlife like this needs to be taught a lesson. Leo's mom nodded vigorously. Yes, this degenerate tried to extort us and then cursed us when he failed. Send him to jail. I'm calling the police right now. Wait, Jason, I'm so flustered I almost forgot. You're a cop, aren't you? At her words, everyone turned to look at Jason. Jason paused, then slapped his forehead. Man, this son of a bitch got me so worked up, I forgot my own job. Ethan, let me tell you, you picked the wrong place to act like a punk. Jason walked up to me, twisted my arm, and as I was about to struggle, I felt a cold weight on my wrist followed by a soft click. I looked down to see a pair of handcuffs clamped around my wrist. Ha ha ha, you said the thing in the scissors is coming out at midnight? Well, you can just wait right here until midnight. Jason announced triumphantly, dragging me into the villa and cuffing me to the staircase. The others roared with laughter. Leo was even taking pictures and videos of me, posting them in the university class group chat. Everyone come see. Ethan came to be a guest at my house. Other classmates asked curiously, "No way, is that our Ethan? What happened to him? Why is he in handcuffs?" Leo sneered, squatting down next to me and patting my cheek a couple of times. This idiot tried to extort me at my own house. Luckily, Officer Jason here was present and cuffed him on the spot. "Come on, Officer Jason, say hi to everyone." Jason nodded at the camera, putting on a serious face. Ethan claimed Leo used his scissors in college and never returned them, so he showed up demanding $180,000. I've cuffed him here for now, and tomorrow I'll take him down to the station to make a statement. Leo has security cameras all over his property. The evidence is solid. We'll see what the court decides. A friendly reminder to all our classmates. Being poor isn't scary, but don't go down the wrong path. The group chat erupted. A pair of scissors for $180,000? Oh my God, how could he dare? Hey, isn't Larry a lawyer? How many years would you get for $180,000? That's considered a huge amount. It's 3 to 10 years in prison. Leo, come on, we were all classmates. Ethan didn't even succeed. Maybe just have him apologize and let it go. Prison is no joke. Fine, since our esteemed Mr. Larry has spoken, I'll give you some face. Leo pointed the camera at me. All right, Ethan, don't say I'm not giving you a chance. I'm getting married tomorrow, and I don't want to make things too ugly. How about this? You get on your knees and kowtow to me 100 times, and I'll let you go. Ha ha ha, that's my man Leo, always so generous. I'll record it for you guys. Fatty Mike clapped Leo on the shoulder, took the phone from him, and stepped back a few paces. Leo, stand sideways to me. Yeah, just like that. Ethan, get to it. Leo lifted his chin arrogantly and straightened his collar. Mike, get my good side. Post this video on the university forum later for everyone to see. Ethan, kowtow. I sat cross-legged on the floor and rolled my eyes. Leo, remember what you just said. 100 times. Later, you'll be the one doing it, and you can't be short by even one. After I spoke, everyone went quiet. Leo incredulously cleaned out his ear. What did he say? Fatty Mike. Leo, he said you're going to kowtow to him. Leo chuckled, then burst out laughing. Interesting, Ethan, you really don't know how to spell death, do you? I sneered and looked up at the massive grandfather clock in the corner. The minute hand was slowly circling, while the hour hand rested on the number 8. I don't know, but in about 3 hours, you probably will. Fatty Mike snorted and nudged Jason's arm with his elbow. Hilarious. Why is he so stubborn? Remember that time he got disciplined? He was just like this. Deanchin twisted his ear until it was bright red, and he still wouldn't apologize. Back in college, the guys in our dorm loved to play cards. We didn't have a square table, so Leo would often spread my quilt on the floor, and they'd all sit on it with their shoes on. Most of the time, they gambled with money. When Fatty Mike was broke at the end of the month, they'd stick paper notes on his face. The paper they used was torn from my homework notebooks. I rushed over to grab my notebook and was shoved to the ground by Fatty Mike. Ethan, we're just using one of your notebooks. Why are you so cheap? Yeah, a notebook only costs a few bucks. Leo flicked his cigarette ash onto my quilt, pulled a crumpled $20 bill from his pocket, and threw it in front of me. Take it. Don't say I'm not reasonable. Go buy another one. Wow. Leo's so generous. 20 bucks. You can buy 2 notebooks with that. Ethan, you're coming out ahead. You'll have enough left over for a couple of breakfasts, ha ha ha. They laughed wildly as I watched the homework I had spent 3 all-nighters on get torn to shreds. I lost it. I charged forward and punched Leo square in the face. He cried out as blood gushed from his nose. Damn it. Are you trying to die? Seeing this, the others ganged up on me. It was only then that I came to my senses, clenched my teeth, and covered my head, not making a sound. My master had told me I would face a life or death crisis during these years, and that I absolutely could not cause trouble at school. Later, students from other dorms got the RA. Leo's nose had stopped bleeding, stuffed with 2 wads of tissue. I was bruised and swollen from their beating, blood spattered all over the floor. But the RA acted as if he didn't see any of it. He angrily grabbed my collar and demanded I apologize to Leo. "Ethan, you're causing trouble again. You dare to attack a classmate? Do you want me to write you up?" Fatty Mike, mimicking the memory, reached out to pull my ear and said in a squeaky voice, "Ethan, you don't want your student aid anymore?" Jason clapped his hands and laughed. "Ha ha ha, Ethan, with a disciplinary record, it must be hard to find a job, right? Why haven't you learned your lesson? Pissing off Leo in college just meant you wouldn't get a job. Now you're trying to extort him. You're going to jail for that. A pretty boy like you. Do you have any idea what happens to guys like you in prison?" Leo's mom shook her head, looking at me with disgust. "All right, a punk like this will have plenty of suffering ahead of him in the real world. You boys shouldn't get physical, especially you, Jason. You're a cop. Make sure Leo doesn't get into a fight. Come on, let's all go eat." "You got it, ma'am. We'll listen to you." Jason pulled Leo along, and the group returned to the table to drink. By the time they were finishing dinner, everyone was drunk. Fatty Mike, swaying his head, even tossed a bone in front of me. A tomahawk steak that costs over $1,000. Never had that before, have you? Here, have a taste, haha. Leo burst out laughing. "Ethan, bark like a dog a few times. If you do it well, I'll get a few years taken off your sentence. There's a big difference between 3 and 10 years, you know." I stared at the grandfather clock in the corner. The hour hand was now pointing to 10:30 p.m. I smirked. "Sure. I don't know how to bark like a dog, but I can do a ghost's cry. Jason, why don't you give them a demonstration?" "I'll demonstrate my he. With his mouth still full of beef, Jason let out a piercing cackle, like an old woman being strangled. The laugh echoed through the spacious room, utterly horrifying. Jason gasped and clamped his hands over his mouth. Everyone froze, staring at him in shock. "Jason, what are you doing?" "Yay, why did you laugh like that?" Jason shook his head, his mouth still covered. "I didn't laugh. That wasn't me. It was definitely Ethan. He's the one playing tricks." Leo tossed a lobster shell onto the table and crossed his legs. "Trying to spook us with cheap tricks. Ethan, I thought you were a blade seller. When did you learn ventriloquism? Or are you saying the blade you sold me has a ghost sealed inside it?" "Ha ha ha ha." I looked up at Leo. "Well, congratulations. You guessed right. No one knew that we blade sellers don't actually sell blades. We sell souls. The souls of ghosts. Legend has it that Giguzi once had a blade that he passed to his student Pangwan. After getting the blade, Pangwan's personality changed drastically. He used that blade to chop off Sunbin's kneecaps. This was all because a malevolent spirit's soul was sealed within that blade. Later, Sunbin tricked Pangwan into a fatal trap and shattered the blade into countless pieces. Each fragment was tainted with the scattered soul. Sunbin had them forged into ordinary kitchen knives and distributed to the common people. This soul forging method was passed down through Taoist sects, and when combined, it created the blade seller tradition as we know it today. Blade sellers travel from town to town, trying to find ways to sell their blades on credit, all in an effort to refine and purify the souls sealed within them. To prevent accidents from befalling the blade's owner, the blade seller also offers a prophecy, usually related to the price of grain or a person's fortune. Kitchen knives are the most common items sold on credit. They absorb human energy, and being in a kitchen, they are constantly exposed to smoke and fire and used for chopping countless times a day. Over time, the wisp of soul sealed within the blade simply dissipates. But scissors are different. The two blades represent a negative force, and scissors are used infrequently. The entity inside might not be dispelled for generations. I gestured towards Leo, my handcuffs clanking against the iron railing of the staircase. Honestly, I don't even know what's in these scissors. After all, no one has ever dared to default on a scissors debt. But thanks to you, we should find out very soon. Leo's face turned green. Damn it, you think I'm easily scared? You're about to go to jail, and you still have the nerve to spout this nonsense. Fatty Mike sneered. What a jerk. Ethan, your mouth is truly foul. Leo's mom stomped her foot in anger. Nothing but filth comes out of his mouth. Go on, stuff that bone in his mouth. I don't want to hear him speak. Ma'am, leave this to me. To regain the face he lost after his ghostly cackle, Jason puffed out his chest and charged toward me. He squatted down, picked up the beef bone, grabbed my chin with one hand, and tried to shove the bone into my mouth with the other. I stared at Jason's face and let out a cold laugh. That weird laugh earlier, was it you or me? Don't you have a clue? Jason's movement stopped instantly. As midnight approaches, the negative energy will run wild. Your forehead is dark, that energy will affect you first. When the thing from the scissors gets out, even if its target is just Leo, your fate won't be much better. You're trying to scare me? Jason swallowed nervously, his grip on my chin unconsciously loosening. A scissors debt requires the scissors to be present for collection. If you don't believe me, go check behind the sofa cushion and see if that pair of scissors has appeared. Don't listen to his bullshit. I threw those scissors away after using them in college. How could they possibly be in my house? Leo was dismissive. Jason, what are you so scared of? You're a cop. You don't actually believe him, do you? As he spoke, he walked over, lifted a cushion from the sofa, and glanced at it casually. See? There are no scissors here. The next second, Leo's mouth fell open, and his eyes looked like they were about to pop out. There, on the black leather sofa, lay a pair of golden bronze scissors. The handles were wrapped in red silk thread, glowing eerily under the crystal chandelier. Shit. Who put the scissors here? Leo staggered back and fell onto the sofa. No one in the living room spoke. They all stared at the scissors for a moment, then turned to look at the grandfather clock in the corner. The hour hand was pointing to 10:50. 10 minutes left until midnight. Jason's face turned deathly pale. He dropped the bone and instinctively huddled closer to me. What's happening? Did the scissors really appear out of thin air? What do you mean, what's happening? Jason, you're losing it. Use your cop brain and think. This bastard probably hid the scissors there when he first came in, just to scare us. Fatty Mike walked over and kicked me hard in the shin. I didn't dodge, just took the blow. See, if he was really some damn blade seller, would he let us cuff him here so pathetically? Right, the bastard. Daring to scare me. Leo picked up the scissors and slammed them on the floor. He must have found the scissors back then, and is now pretending to come and collect, even trying to extort me. Damn it. I've never seen such a despicable person. Exactly, he's just a loser. We beat him like a dog in college. Besides having a stubborn mouth, did he ever dare to fight back? Jason, you're really letting him fool you? The two of them went back and forth, and Jason, shamed by their words, turned from pale to red. This dog really is asking for a beating. Jason raised his hand to slap me. I tilted my head, my gaze going past him to what was behind Leo. 3, 2, 1. It's here. Leo rolled his eyes, huffing through his nostrils. Ethan, are you addicted to acting? Who's here? A ghost? With that, he quickly turned his head. The instant he turned, all the lights in the house suddenly went out. Leo's mom let out a scream. A moment later, the lights flickered back on. A shocking scene unfolded. The scissors, which should have been on the carpet, were now quietly floating in mid-air. Everyone froze. Leo rolled his eyes again and reached for the floating scissors. Ethan, this is another one of your tricks. What did you rig this with? His pale fingers had just reached out when, in the next second, countless strands of long, black hair shot out from the scissors. The hair formed a giant hand that gripped Leo's neck and lifted him into the air. Leo's eye roll was cut short this time. His eyes were stuck wide open. He stuck out his tongue, a scream trapped in his throat, as he flailed his arms and legs, his face turning a deep red. Ah, a ghost, a ghost! Jason screamed, scrambled away, and hid behind me. The others were terrified too, screaming and running towards me. There's a ghost. Oh my God. Ethan was telling the truth. Mommy, there really is something in the scissors. Ethan, hurry up and save Leo. I tugged at the handcuffs on my wrist. Sorry, I'm chained up. Can't move. I'll unlock them for you. Oh God, just go save him. Jason was trembling all over. He shakily pulled a key from his pocket to uncuff me. As he worked on the lock, he nervously glanced back at Leo. That's when he saw that the hair had stopped pouring out of the scissors. Instead, a bloody red scalp was now squeezing its way out from between the two blades. Ah! Jason screamed again, fumbling faster with the key, desperately trying to free me. But I pulled the handcuffs back. No need. I'm still waiting to go down to the station tomorrow to give my statement. Jason's eyes widened. He glanced at the scissors again and his attitude softened. Fine, fine, fine. I was wrong, okay? Let me unlock them, and you go save Leo. Don't beg him. Damn it, I don't believe it. There's no such thing as ghosts in this world. Fatty Mike shakily stood up and spat into his palm. This must all be part of Ethan's plan. He used some kind of high-tech trick in those scissors. It's all fake. It's all fake. Fatty Mike looked around, then rushed to the dining table, grabbed a steak knife, and charged toward Leo. Leo, I'm coming to save you. By the time he reached Leo, the thing from the scissors had fully revealed its head. It wasn't really a head, but more like two half-heads. The ghost looked like a woman from ancient times, with her hair in two top knots and wearing gold earrings. But her entire face was split down the middle, like a pair of scissors, forming an angle at her neck. Her hair didn't grow from the top of her head, but gushed out from the gaping wound. Fatty Mike skidded to a halt. The two halves of the woman's head, with their two perfectly round, jet-black eyes, stared at him from both sides. Fatty Mike let out a muffled grunt, not even managing a scream, before his eyes rolled back and he collapsed to the floor. He, this gentleman is quite frail. The soft, deep laughter had a piercing quality that echoed through the living room, causing the temperature in the entire house to drop several degrees. The horrifying, skin-crawling chill was something no human could possibly fake. The female ghost giggled a few more times, then continued to shake her head, trying to squeeze her entire body out of the scissors. Seeing her appearance, a word flashed through my mind: split maiden. The split maiden is a scissor spirit. Records in the Ming Dynasty's Compendium of Oddities state that she is formed from the soul of a woman who committed suicide with scissors. Her spirit becomes attached to the scissors, gradually merging with them, creating a being of immense negative energy that is extremely difficult to deal with. The split maiden ignored Fatty Mike. Her long hair continued to move on its own, but instead of just choking Leo, a lock of it snaked into his mouth. Leo's entire body instantly arched like a shrimp, his face contorted in extreme pain. The split maiden giggled. Unfaithful man. Leo's mom watched from the side, her face pale. Wah-ah! She cried out. Leo, my son. She rushed forward to save Leo, but was violently swatted away by a strand of hair as soon as she reached the edge of the carpet. Her plump body spun twice in the air before crashing hard onto the wooden floor. Leo's mom propped herself up, struggling to her feet. Trembling, she stared at the bizarre scene before her, her knees going weak, unable to summon the courage to go forward again. Sobbing, she gritted her teeth, turned, and ran over to grab my hand. Quick, you were classmates. You have to save my son. If you save him, I'll forget about everything that happened before. Her tone still carried a hint of superiority that she herself didn't even notice. I leaned back lazily against the staircase. No, you should hold a grudge. I'm still waiting for Officer Jason to take me to the station to give my statement. Seeing my attitude, Leo's mom gritted her teeth in anger. You surnamed Wang. You were classmates, and you're just going to watch him die? Don't push your luck. Just then, Leo let out another piercing scream. His whole body convulsed violently, and blood spurted from his nose and mouth. His eyes bulged out like a goldfish's, his fingers splayed open as he desperately reached towards me, his gaze full of pleading. Ethan, save. Leo's mom cried out hysterically, her face a mask of panic. Ethan, I misspoke. I'm begging you, please save my son. If you don't help him now, he's going to die. I rattled my handcuffs. Sorry, I'm cuffed. I'm willing, but the flesh is weak. Can't help you. As I finished speaking, the female ghost let out another chilling hee laugh. Is this gentleman playing dead? By now, her entire body had squeezed out of the scissors. She wore a red, traditional Chinese wedding dress and embroidered shoes for bound feet, which were now stepping on Fatty Mike's hand. Although a ghost has no weight, its negative energy is strong and its chilling aura is intense. The moment her foot touched him, a coldness seeped through his skin, and Fatty Mike's whole body began to tremble. Realizing his cover was blown, Fatty Mike screamed, scrambled to his feet, and tried to run toward me. He had only taken a few steps before a lock of hair shot out from behind and wrapped around his neck. With this lock of hair diverted, the grip on Leo's neck loosened. He thrashed and managed to fall to the ground. "Oh God, Ethan, help, save me." Leo crawled on all fours, while Fatty Mike also squirmed on the ground, his body writhing like a fat maggot. I shook my head regretfully and jingled the metal handcuffs at them. Clink, clink. The sound that had made them so smug before now filled them with remorse. "I can't move. Didn't Leo say I had to kowtow 100 times before he'd forgive me? If I just stand up now, I might go to jail." Leo froze for a second, then it hit him. Tears and snot streamed down his face as he knelt on the floor and started kowtowing to me. "I was wrong, Ethan. Bro, you're my real brother. I have a big mouth. I'll kowtow to you, I'll do it." Seeing this, the others also knelt in a row and started banging their heads on the floor. "Ethan, do something." Seeing her son in such a pathetic state, Leo's mom's mind suddenly cleared. She rushed over, hugged my leg, and started pulling off her jade bracelet, diamond ring and watch, stuffing them into my hands. "Money. I'll give you money. The 180,000, I'll pay you back." I shook my head. That was the old price. Breaking the contract comes with a higher fee. $1 million, no, $2 million. This stuff is worth at least $2 million. Just save Leo, he's getting married tomorrow. Nothing can happen to him. Leo's mom wailed. Leo and Fatty Mike were being wrapped up by the split maiden's hair, almost cocooned. As their struggles grew weaker, Jason's face changed. He quietly began to inch his way toward the front door. But as I had warned him, his forehead was dark, making him susceptible to the negative energy. Now, with the energy surging, the moment Jason got near the sofa, his body stiffened. A black aura shot across his face, and he froze in place. Leo, tangled in the hair, was struggling on the ground when he suddenly rolled next to the steak knife from earlier. He painstakingly reached out and managed to hack off a large chunk of hair. "Jason, help me, help me." Leo scrambled over to Jason and hugged his leg. Jason, his face dark, gave him a sinister smile, then shot out his hand and gripped his throat tightly. Jason had been recruited into the police force and had trained at the academy for 2 years. He was tall and strong. With such a powerful grip, Leo's face immediately turned purple. Seeing that he was about to die, I slowly raised my hand and pointed into the distance. "Bring me my carrying pole and bamboo basket. Throw your pile of jewelry and watches into the basket. This debt, I'll collect it." "Okay, Sob, okay. Please save my son." Leo's mom scrambled over, threw her pile of gold and jewels into the bamboo basket, and even added her necklace and earrings. I took a pin from my collar, fiddled with the handcuff lock for a few seconds, and it clicked open. I tossed the handcuffs aside, grabbed the carrying pole, and walked toward Leo. The split maiden eyed me warily. "You intend to interfere? He was the one who violated the blade debt first. Why are you meddling?" I tightened my grip on the pole. I didn't want to, but spirits aren't allowed to form after the founding of the People's Republic. If you escape, it'll be hard for me to catch another one just like you to seal in the scissors. And I can't forge new scissors. So, I'm afraid I have to ask you to go back. Young man, you want to seal me? I'm afraid you don't have the skill." The split maiden shrieked, let go of Fatty Mike, and all her hair turned into sharp spikes, shooting toward Leo. Leo was already being choked by Jason. If this hit, he'd be turned into a human pincushion on the spot. He struggled desperately but couldn't break free, and could only watch in despair as the hair flew toward him. At the critical moment, I took a few steps forward and swung the carrying pole, blocking the attack in front of Leo. The moment the hair touched my pole, it was like fire hitting ice. It immediately retracted. I swung the pole in a circle with one hand, freeing the other to turn and slap Jason hard across the face. Ah! Jason was slapped to the ground. His mouth worked a couple of times, and then he suddenly crawled to the side and started vomiting, spewing out clumps of black slime. Leo also fell to the ground, clutching his neck and gasping for air. Having survived their ordeal, the two of them hugged each other and cried their eyes out. Oh my God, that was terrifying. How can there really be ghosts in this world? Just then, the split maiden changed direction and attacked from the other side. Leo and Jason immediately scrambled to hide behind me. Ethan. Bro. Save us. I snorted. Weren't you going to post the video of me kowtowing to the group chat? What, not anymore? Leo was still staring at me blankly, but Jason had already snapped out of it. He shakily took out his phone. Bro Ethan, we were blind not to see who you are. We'll kowtow to you. We'll post the video. We'll post it. With that, he grabbed Leo, pointed the phone at themselves, and started recording while banging their heads on the floor. Bro Ethan wasn't extorting us. It was all our fault, we were wrong. Bro save us. The video sent the class group chat into a frenzy. Whoa, what's going on? Leo's crying like that? What happened? Is Ethan's background even more powerful than his? Not necessarily. Let me tell you guys, don't just see Ethan as poor. One time, I saw him get out of a Rolls Royce, and the driver was super respectful to him. What? That's not what you said last time. Didn't you say he was being kept by a sugar mama old enough to be your grandma? Yeah. Why are you changing your tune now? Maybe the sugar mama stepped in again? Jason glanced at the group messages and trembled even more violently. You all shut the hell up. If you spread any more rumors about my bro Ethan, I'll sue you for slander. Bro Ethan is my brother forever. Jason put his phone aside and looked at me fawningly. How was that? Bro, I'm really begging you. I really don't want to die. I couldn't be bothered with him because the ghost had just unleashed her ultimate move. Seeing that she couldn't get past my carrying pole, the ghost let out a sharp shriek. Her two half-heads flew off to the left and right, tearing her body in two. A pile of internal organs spilled out. Seeing this, Jason squatted down and started vomiting again. The braver of the other classmates were huddled by the stairs, trembling and holding their heads. The more cowardly ones had already fainted. With her body split in two, I was now being attacked by two split maidens simultaneously from both sides, and I was overwhelmed. In a moment of distraction, the left split maiden dragged Leo away. Leo screamed bloody murder. Ethan. Bro. Dad. Save me. To make matters worse, Jason was still hiding behind me, clinging tightly to my leg, while the other half of the split maiden lunged at me. I grabbed Jason by the hair, slapped him twice, and then kicked him away. You hold her off for a bit. I rushed to the sofa, picked up the scissors from the floor, and snapped them in two. I quickly unwound the red thread from the handle and wrapped it around my fingers. These scissors were the split maiden's host body, giving them a natural power over her. I lunged at the split maiden with the broken scissors. She dodged nimbly to the side. Seizing the opportunity, my other hand shot out from behind me, wrapped the red thread around her neck, and quickly tied a knot. Ah! The split maiden shrieked as black smoke rose from her neck. Seeing this, the other half of the maiden had no choice but to let go of Leo and screech as she charged toward me. I was crouched on the ground, and just as she was about to pounce on my back, I held the scissors and stabbed upwards from under my ribs, plunging the blade into her body. This series of moves sounds easy, but every move had to be timed perfectly. It was incredibly dangerous. The two halves of the split maiden screamed and gradually merged back into one. I used the red string to tie her heads tightly together. With the scissor blades closed, her power was greatly diminished. Bring me my bamboo basket. After I spoke, everyone just stood there, frozen. Bring me the basket, quickly. I yelled at the top of my lungs. Fatty Mike finally reacted, shakily picking up the basket and handing it to me. I stuck the two scissor handles into the split maiden's body, then covered her with the bamboo basket. Alright, go get some sticky rice and sprinkle it around her. Get a lot. By dawn, she should have returned to the scissors. The Chun family's servants brought sticky rice from the kitchen. I sat my butt down on the bamboo basket and evenly scattered a large amount of rice around it. Seeing the split maiden lying motionless on the ground, her body slowly shrinking back into the basket, everyone else let out a sigh of relief. Leo sat on the floor, staring blankly. Ethan, you're a badass. With skills like that, Why didn't you just mess me up back in college? Jason coughed dryly. What are you talking about? Bro Ethan is a master beyond our petty squabbles. Bro Ethan, we were wrong about everything before. Please don't hold it against us. Fatty Mike also nodded like a bobblehead. We're nothing. Bro Ethan, you're a bigger person than us. Please don't hold a grudge. Only Leo's mother stared at the pile of watches and necklaces on the floor, clearly resentful. You're all classmates. Just for moving around a little bit, you're taking so much money. My eyes turned cold. What? You want to default on a blade debt a second time? Leo frantically waved his hands. No, that's not what my mom means. Mom, what are you doing? Do you want me to die? Do you have a secret son somewhere else? What nonsense are you talking about, you child? Leo's mother awkwardly smoothed her hair and sat down quietly, not daring to speak again. The others shamelessly tried to cozy up to me, showering me with compliments. I kept my eyes lowered and ignored them, focusing intently on the movement under the basket. As the grandfather clock struck 5, the eerie, cold feeling in the room disappeared. I lifted the basket. 2 pieces of the scissors lay quietly on the floor, their blades covered in a layer of rust. All right, I'm taking these scissors back with me. As I packed my things, there was a loud knock on the Chun family's front door. Leo, the makeup artist, has been waiting outside for half an hour. We can't be late for the bride pickup. Leo, who had been dozing off on the sofa, snapped his eyes open. Quick, clean up and open the door. Leo and a few of his groomsmen rushed off to pick up the bride. Jason deliberately stayed behind to keep me company, diligently pouring me tea and water, offering me drinks and cigarettes, insisting I stay for the wedding feast. It was clear he was scared out of his wits. He was afraid something else might happen, and was trying to suck up to me. I couldn't be bothered with him. After finishing breakfast, I shouldered my carrying pole and basket and prepared to leave. As I walked out of the villa's main gate, the wedding motorcade was just returning. Confetti cannons exploded on both sides, and colorful paper fluttered through the air, swirling down onto the red carpet. Leo, looking exhausted, lifted the bride out of the wedding car, his steps so unsteady he could barely stand. The others laughed. What's wrong with the groom? Is he not strong enough? Wonder what kind of trouble he got into last night? I looked at the beautiful bride in his arms and my eyes widened in surprise. Interesting. Another person who owed a blade debt. It's true what they say. Birds of a feather flock together. But this time, the whole affair had nothing to do with me. I turned to leave, faintly hearing the bride's angry voice behind me. What does he mean? For such a small thing, he chased me all the way here? Have someone get rid of him. Honey, who is that? Do you owe him something? Is that guy crazy? Showing up on our wedding day to demand something back? Don't worry, I'll call security. I shook my head and sighed. Paying your debts is the natural order of things. How could they not understand such a simple truth? The end.